Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Well, hello and welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I want to welcome you if you are watching live or listening live or watching the replay or listening to the replay. We are streaming live right now on YouTube, Rumble, X, and BitChute. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you are here. Hello, Richard and Maureen watching over on Rumble. So happy you could be here tonight. I ask you if you would to please hit the thumbs up button, the like button, share the show information. I greatly appreciate that. And please say hello if you are here. Say hello in the comments. Because I would love to, be able to say hello to you. I would like to be able to welcome you. So if you can also, if you would like to make a tip or a donation, you can do that via my Venmo or a Rumble rant on Rumble. And I know Tiffany just posted that information. Those tips and donations do really help to, for me to cover my show costs. So I appreciate that. Now, if you do make a Venmo donation during the show, I just simply ask that you please put that in the comments, Venmo donation or sent you a Venmo, because what will happen then is when I do messages, you're going to move to the front of the line for a message, and you're also going to get a little bit longer message. So, please remember that if you do donate through Venmo. I'd like to invite you to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. And you can go to my website and find out about my books, my oracle cards, and all of my services. I hope you will come over and join our Goldylocks group on Telegram. There's so much amazing energy, so much information on that we share on there, and we can share information there that you're not going to see on other forms of social media, or that you're not going to be able to share on other forms of social media. So I really encourage you to come over there and join that group. Hello, Lenka and Melissa watching on Rumble. Welcome. Goldylocks also has an online store where you can get great merchandise. Check that out. There's so many amazing designs. And also, while we're talking about Goldylocks merchandise, don't forget about the Goldylocks cards, the Oracle cards, Energize. They have messages from all of the different show hosts. They have beautiful sacred geometry symbols. And it would be a really wonderful addition if you already have some card decks, or maybe it would be your first one. That would be really exciting. So this Sunday, September 1st, Goldylocks Productions begins its 10th season. So happy anniversary to Goldylocks Productions. Now, after this Friday, our shows will no longer be live streamed on YouTube. That goes for all of the Goldylocks shows. So if you currently watch us via YouTube, and you want to continue watching, you're going to have to switch over to either BitChute, X, or Rumble. And I advise you to do that before you want to watch a show. That way you know how it works. They're not difficult to maneuver. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. But don't wait till the last minute, because you don't want to end up missing one of your favorite shows. So this right now is my last live streamed show on YouTube. I want to wish a very happy birthday to Megan, who celebrated over the weekend, and to everyone who is celebrating a birthday this week. I hope you enjoy your special day. I hope you enjoyed your special day. I hope it brought you lots of joy and love. Speaking of love, let's send out some love, light, and healing energy to Robin McGuire and her son, Caroline, Carrie's daughter, Carrie, Maureen, Brandon, Jamie, and to all those who are in need. We all need a little extra sometimes, right? Did you know that you can become a VIP, a Goldylocks Productions VIP, for just the cost of a cup of coffee? You can be a VIP member, and that entitles you to a special VIP show twice a month where you get messages. You'll get extra messages. So I highly encourage you to do that and check that out if you haven't already. And if you are already a VIP member, thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to thank all those who joined us this past Saturday for the Spiritual Message Circle. We had a great show. It was a lot of fun. So this weekend, we have a 3-day weekend here in the U.S. We celebrate the unofficial end of summer with Labor Day on Monday. Usually the unofficial start of summer is Memorial Day, and then the unofficial end is Labor Day. That's how it always worked when I was younger. So if you celebrate this weekend, have fun and be safe. So the energy continues to be strong. I mean, incredibly strong. I check the Schumann resonance multiple times a day, and it's been in the 80s and 90s for a lot of days. So that's affecting us because that's what we feel. That's the energy that we feel from it, our bodies. And we've had multiple solar flares. Right now, the Schumann is 65. Multiple solar flares. Today, there is a rare alignment of 6 planets: Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. This is bringing in a ton of transformative energy, healing energy, more clarity for us, downloads of information, tons of information, upgrades. So be prepared for changes in your life. We've talked a lot about changes. I've noticed that a lot of my messages and cards in the last several weeks have come up about change. So this is one thing that we can really count on, right? Continue with the extra self-care, because we all need that extra right now. Hydrating, getting enough rest, meditating, eating healthy food, spending time in nature, doing something that gives you joy. And last night Robin mentioned creativity on her show, and I love that because I've been thinking about that for the past week or so. I have had this huge feeling. I've been feeling this huge influx of creative energy, and sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes we get these ideas and they just kind of like ping pong, like a pinball machine. That's what it makes me think of. You pull that lever and then the ball just ping pongs back and forth. And sometimes that's how I feel when I'm getting lots of ideas. Sometimes it's hard to just grasp one and hold on to it. And between my daily schedule and the exhaustion that I've mentioned, for probably a couple months now, I hadn't been able to get a lot of things accomplished in the last while. It's been a while. So for the past week or two, I've been gradually working on some things. I have my 3-year-old granddaughter, Judy. When her sister goes to school, we sit and I've printed out some things that I'm helping her learn how to write her numbers and her name and her letters and stuff. So while she's working on that, I've been working on some stuff on my computer. Maybe 15, 20 minutes a day. That's all I've been able to commit to it. But what I have found, and I don't know why it surprises me, but it does. Just that little bit. By the end of the week, I've accomplished something huge. I've finished something huge. And it's absolutely awesome. So by putting in that little bit of time, I don't have to block out a big chunk of time to work on this, where I'm going to spend maybe an hour or more. But by putting in that 15 or 20 minutes, every day, it got done. Thank you so much for your donation, Maureen. I have you down first. I greatly appreciate that. Um, and a lot of times, if we have a lot of different things that we want to do, or we have a big to-do list, we have to prioritize. Now, what is the most important thing to get done first? Only you can decide that for yourself. But that's what you need to work on first. Then move on to the next thing, and then the next thing. And pretty soon, your to-do list is gone. And I'm a great one for making a to-do list. I have several. Because one list might pertain to just a specific thing. The other one is like my master list of all of my stuff. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. It does not matter at all. I used to put so much pressure on myself and get really annoyed with myself when I didn't get things done in what I considered a timely manner. And then I have to remember that everything, and I mean everything, happens in divine timing. It happens exactly when it's supposed to. And we all do that. I know we do. We beat ourselves up. I should have had this done. Why am I being lazy? And it's not about being lazy. It's all about the timing. All about the timing. It doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you are making some progress and you are moving forward, because it's going to be completed exactly when it's supposed to be, all in divine timing. And we're getting tons of information and ideas coming to us. And it isn't random. It might seem very random. They may be random, what you would consider random ideas, but they're not random at all. There's a very specific reason behind it. Very specific. So be mindful. Pay attention to what you're receiving. And then take notes. Journal. Eventually, everything will come to light and make perfect sense. And I can tell you that this is very true for me. Earlier this year, there were some ideas that started pinging around in my head. And I just got the one general idea. No idea how I was going to do it, what it was going to look like. Just the idea of, this is what you're going to do. So, our human brain, we try, thinking of all these different things. Well, I could do this, this, this. And nothing ever came of it, just the first original idea. But then as time goes on, I'll get another idea that builds upon that first one with more clarification of what direction I need to take that idea. And, I'm finding this a lot lately. So when I get that original idea, I write it down. I jot it down because I'll forget it otherwise. And then later on, I'll get another idea that will pertain to that. And I'll go back to it and I'll look at it. I'm like, wow, this is starting to make some sense. A lot of times I get that first thought and then I just kind of put it on the back burner because I don't know how yet that it's going to come to fruition. I'm not sure exactly what route I'm going to take or I'm supposed to take or what I need to do. But then additional thoughts that add upon that, upon the first one, they'll keep coming. It's like layering of the ideas. They come in at all different times. And that's one reason why it's really great to journal and write this stuff down. Because we know we can walk out of the living room into the kitchen and forget why we went into the kitchen. So write down these ideas that just seem to pop into your head. Write down the thoughts. It might be a phrase. It might be a picture. It might be a word. Whatever it is. You are being inspired for something. And they might not make perfect sense at the time, but over time, they will make perfect sense. All will be revealed in divine time. Now, our creativity is connected to the second chakra, the sacral chakra, and it's represented by the color orange and the element of water. It's located just below the navel and in the lumbar spine in the back. And you can keep this chakra in balance through meditation, visualization, focusing on the color orange. You can send energy, love, and light to that chakra, to that area, and make sure that you are also dealing with your emotions, because they affect this chakra as well. You don't want to have some emotions that you are looking the other way or ignoring or not recognizing and acknowledging, because it's going to create blocks for you. It's going to slow down your chakra, that energy. And change is also associated with this chakra, which I was really excited to find that out. So if you are in a place of fear or anxiety regarding changes in your life, or impending changes, or worrying about changes, work on balancing this chakra, because it will really help. Something that I found that worked wonders for me when I was feeling like creatively stuck is I would grab one of the kids' coloring books and crayons or colored pencils or whatever and start coloring. And I don't know what it did, but it just released that stale, stuck energy, and my creative juices were flowing freely again. So find what works for you. Find out what works for you. Maybe you have like a lot of ideas of, oh, I'd like to create this, or I'd like to create that, but it's all in your head and you're not feeling it everywhere else. You've got to get that creativity moving. So do whatever works for you. However you can do that to get those creative juices flowing. Then you can begin creating new things in your life. And, I love that it's the chakra of change, because a lot of us have been going through this lately, all this change. And I know of several people that have moved like multiple states away from where they were living, people that have started new careers. And it's really exciting change, because all of this, as you make these decisions and you take the action, a lot of things are going to ripple from that. If you're in a new place, you're going to be meeting new people. You're going to be, surrounded by a different environment. Maybe you lived in the mountains before and now you're living at the ocean. There's going to be a lot of different types of nature that you're going to visit. But everything can change. So wouldn't you rather initiate these changes in your life instead of the changes that occur by lack of action? Okay, think about that. By not making a decision, you really are making a decision. And that's also going to create change. But by making a decision to do something or to not do something, you are the one that is initiating that change. So take control of your life. Make it everything that you want it to be. September is almost upon us. This is we only have a few more days of August. And September is almost upon us. And with that comes fall or autumn, whatever you call it. And the holidays are going to start rolling in. And it's going to happen much faster than you think it will, because it always does. But this year, though, time has been going faster than I have ever experienced it in my life. Like, I cannot believe it is the end of August already. It's just absolutely insane. So, then we roll into the holidays, then the end of the year's here. So when you're sitting back, the end of December or New Year's Eve, and you're reflecting on your year, this year, 2024, do you want it to be a year of sitting around, contemplating things and doing nothing? Or do you want it to be a time of creation, change, and forward movement? Because it's all up to you. You still have several months to make this the best year of your life. And you can. We all can. And that's the exciting part. You know, our life can be whatever we want it to be, whatever we dream it to be, whatever we envision it to be. And we have to put out those crystal clear intentions, but not just the intentions. We have to take action. For example, if you are wanting to meet someone like a significant other, and you put that intention out there, very clear about what you want, you actually have to take a little bit of effort in leaving the house in order to pretty much to meet someone. The likelihood of them just randomly, well, I shouldn't say randomly, but of them coming and knocking on your door is quite slim. But when you take that action and you do something and you leave your house and you go out, you know, you're helping that. You're moving that intention forward. So we do need to take action. We can't just sit back and, not do anything. So I know this year we've been working a lot with manifesting. We've been working a lot with putting those intentions out there. And the energy this year has just been fantastic to do that. It's been very healing, very transformative. And another thing too is when we're putting out that energy, we have to be able to, like, the universe is going to match the energy that we send. So if we are wanting something that's vibrating at a vibration of love, let's say, we have to be in that place of love. We have to be vibrating in that as well in order to attract that into our life. And it's like that for whatever it is that we're trying to attract. We have to match that energy. So the more things we can do to heal and raise our vibration, the more beneficial it'll be for us. And I know sometimes people sit around and they're like, well, I've been working on this, manifesting this in my life, and, it's still not happening. It's still not happening. That sounds like doubt. Sounds like fear. Sounds like a bit of anxiety. And all of those things are going to create blockages to what you are trying to manifest. And then you're going to have to get rid of the blocks before you can manifest. So, don't worry about how long it takes. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. We don't need to know any of that. We just need to know and believe that it's going to be done. It is going to be done. And some things take a lot longer to manifest than other things. Maybe it's because we're not ready for them yet. We might think we are, but, spirit, our higher selves, it all knows better than we do. Because in our human brain, a lot of times we have learned to, what we want, we can have it right now. We can have it everything's at our fingertips. You want to eat food from your favorite restaurant? Okay. You can have it delivered to your door, within an hour. You need all of these items. You can order them online and have them here tomorrow, sometimes even today. And we're so used to that happening that we can get really impatient when things don't manifest as quickly as we want them to. But there's a reason for that. We have to always remember there's a reason for everything that happens the way that it happens. And we don't always know what that is. Everything happens for a reason. I was trying to think of what that phrase was, because I used to tell my kids that all the time, as they were growing up. Shh. And I've always believed that everything happens for a reason. Hello, Carol Ann. Nice to see you. Carol Ann's watching over on Rumble as well. I love this. Nobody has been watching on YouTube tonight. Everybody's on Rumble. So that's really awesome. But, okay. I'm trying to think of where I was. Everything happens for a reason. And that can really help you put things into perspective in your life too when you realize that. Because we might never know the reason. A lot of times we do way down the road when we look back and we're like, oh, yeah, that's why that happened. I've had things as minor as go into the craft store and I would see an item in the store and I would hear that little voice nudging me, you need to get this, you need to get this, you need to get this. Now, I had no intention of getting it. I have no idea what I would ever use it for. And I would still get it because that nudging was so strong. And it never would fail. Within like a month, something would come up and I would need that exact item. And that happened to me like a lot of times. And I remember one time that I didn't listen. And then I had to go back out to the store like a month later. And it's just really nice that when we get these nudges about everything, even something as simple and, as that, always listen to that nudging, always listen to that intuition because it's telling you for a reason. So my biggest message that I've been getting lately is change. Change is good. Be prepared. We don't want things to stay the same all the time, even when things are comfortable. Well, especially when they're comfortable, because we need to step out of that comfort zone. That's where all the rewards are at. They're all on the other side of our comfort zone. They call it a comfort zone for a reason, because that's where we're comfortable. That's where we're comfortable. But we need to shake things up a little bit. Staying in that comfort zone, a lot of times you create that stagnant energy, right? Because nothing changes and everything's just kind of staying the same. And you want to move that energy around. You want to do something different. So remember that. Don't ever be afraid of change. I know a lot of people are. They like things to just stay the way they are. And yes, while that's nice and, to a certain degree. But, variety is the spice of life, right? We need to change things up every once in a while. Now, I have to tell you that I know it's been a couple of months now that I've been going through this, and I know it's related to all of the energy and all the energetic stuff, this extreme exhaustion. So tired, so tired, so tired all the time. Dragging my butt around all the time. Having really hard time sleeping. And I mentioned a week or two ago that I felt something shift. And I think it might have been a week ago that I said this. And I felt something shift. And something has definitely shifted because my sleep has been completely different. I'm waking up an hour earlier than I usually get up, which that was killing me before. But I'm waking up an hour earlier than that and staying up, getting up, having my coffee, starting my day, and I feel better than I have in a while. I've had quite a bit of energy this week, a huge, huge improvement over what it has been. And I don't feel severely exhausted. I'm a little tired, and I'm sure when I lay down, I'll fall asleep pretty easy, but it's not like it was before. So what I feel like is happening is all this intense energy is really helping to purge some stuff for me. I think some physical stuff, because this was physical stuff that I was feeling. And I feel like it was purging some stuff for me. I had mentioned the intense heat throughout my body and the sweating and the exhaustion. And it's amazing, like the flip of a switch, how it's changed. I'm extremely grateful for that. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you. I'm extremely grateful for that because it wasn't comfortable. But you know what? I got through it, right? What if I would have just, I thought, well, this intense heat. Maybe I have a fever and I just was taking stuff for it. All that's going to do is suppress it. It's not going to help my body to work through it. And it wasn't a fever, but I'm just, using that as an example. Or if I wouldn't have tried getting all the rest that I could possibly get, I know that had to help because, when we're sleeping, that's when our body is doing its healing. So it's always important. And that's one reason why your body requires more rest when you are, ill. Like say you had the flu or something and you were just feeling under the weather. And you can remember this as when you were a kid, when you'd stay home from school and, your mom would have you on the couch and making you chicken soup and, you're just feeling like crap and you would sleep most of the day. That's because when we're sleeping, our body is healing. So keep on with all of this extra self-care. It's so important. It's so important for our bodies. I've been drinking a ton of water and I feel a huge difference when I do. I can tell in my body when I haven't drank enough water for the day. It really cools me down, which might sound weird, but it does. It's like when I have all that sweating and all of that, which I haven't been doing that this week. And my sleeping has been completely different this week, which is really cool. Now, there's going to come that time in the fall when some of us have to move our clocks back an hour. And I noticed that usually a couple of weeks before that time, my body gets all weird with sleep. So I'm hoping now that my body seems really adjusted to whatever it was adjusting to, it feels more balanced, it feels more energetic, and it feels more hydrated. So I'm hoping now that it's not going to be affected so much when we do change the clocks. Because I've always felt that. And it's so funny because I remember years and years ago, and I would be going through that for like a couple of weeks in the fall. I was like, I don't know what is wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. And it took a lot of years there before it clicked of what it was. And I'm not really sure the whys of it happening. But, I just noticed I didn't turn my lights on behind me. How crazy. But yeah, we have that to look forward to as well. I am really excited about this holiday season, like I am every single year. I am going to put this out there for you guys. I am in the process of updating my Christmas card list. So if you have moved this year, please let me know your new address. Send it to me on Messenger. You can email me or whatever. Because last year I had several cards that I sent out. Didn't know people had moved, and I ended up getting them back like after Christmas. They were returned. So if you have moved this year, please let me know your new address. Hello, Pooja. Nice to see you. And if you would like to be added to my Christmas card mailing list, I would prefer if you are in the US or Canada, it's not really bad, then just contact me and I will add you to my list. I started sending out Christmas cards in 2020. We used to get Christmas cards all the time when I was a kid. And it was always exciting. You get it from people that you didn't see that often. And it was just really nice because you knew they were thinking about you. And, it would just bring a smile to your face. So in 2020, when, everything was in chaos, we weren't allowed to see people. Everything was shut down. I was inspired to start sending out Christmas cards. And I've been doing it ever since. And one of the people that I sent a card to that year, it was the first time in her life she ever got a Christmas card. And she was just like over the moon about it. And that just like really, made me happy. So I get a lot of joy in sending them out. So I'm just putting that out there for you guys. This year I'm going to try and do them. My plan last year was to start writing them out in September and just have them all ready to go. And, that didn't happen because it was a, crazy, time. So I'm actually going to work on that this September. And I do plan on getting them all addressed and, all of that stuff so that they are ready to go when I want to send them out. I don't like waiting until the last minute. Sometimes that happens and you just can't really help it. So if anybody would like to be added to my list, just let me know. And Maureen, you are first. Thank you again for your donation. I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards for you and see what we come up with. Okay, the first card says, okay. You need to journal, Maureen. I don't know if you do or not, but you need to. And it says, write down your goals, dream big. You need to set some goals for yourself, some dreams. What are some dreams that you have? Because there are a lot of things that I feel like you would like to do. Maybe you let something hold you back from even trying to dream or attempting to dream. Now, one thing that I'm getting is you can't let grief hold you back. You have to redesign your life. You have to recreate your life. I remember when my mom passed in a while ago, I was her caregiver, and we spent every day together 24/7. So then the day that I got up and she was no longer there, it was, of course, devastating. But she was also part of my daily routine. So everything in my life changed. Everything. It was a huge adjustment. And it took me a while to come to terms with that. But we can't just stop living our life, even though a lot of times that's what we do. We just stop living our life. We don't feel, I don't know if it's we don't feel we deserve anything, or, we feel guilty about pursuing our dreams or being happy because the other person is no longer with us. And I know, because I know I felt that way. And it's hard sometimes to overcome that, but we can. And I feel like there's a lot of dreams and a lot of things out there that you would really connect with, Maureen. And you need to start doing that. You need to expand your horizons. And I love this card for you. It's number 9. It says, connect to eternity within. Everything that we are seeking, everything that we want or desire is within ourselves already. It says, let yourself be held by love. And that's what we are. We are love and we are light. And you just have to go within and sit in that solitude, that quietude, to maybe figure out where your next step is going to be. I feel like you need to make some positive changes in your life and let go of the things that no longer serve you. Don't hang on to things that are causing you anxiety or grief or pain. You have to let that go. You have to heal. And they're wanting you to do what you love. Now, even if you don't do it as a profession or as your, total income. I feel like there is something that you would like to pursue that maybe you would do as a hobby or do on the side. And I think that would be very, very beneficial for you. I think it would help you. I know a lot of times, like say people, maybe they paint or do some kind of, artistry like that. And when they're doing it, they're really in the zone. So it can take you out of your head a lot. And it's almost like you're in a meditative kind of state. And I feel like that would really help you out a lot, Maureen. So I hope that resonates with you. Richard, what do we have for Richard? Nourish your body with high vibing energy. Ooh. Nourish your body with high vibing energy. Now, what kinds of things can you do to create that high vibing energy, Richard? Well, for one, I know you sing. So that really helps to create that kind of energy. Moving around, whether it's, standing in the middle of the room and just jumping up and down. Maybe it's exercise, doing something like jumping jacks or running or dancing. All of those create a very high vibe feeling. So you have to use what it is that resonates the most with you. And you know how differently you feel. Just think, I've noticed this too. Just stretching in the morning, it's like it kind of dissipates some of that maybe stuck energy or maybe just the energy from you sleeping. I don't know. But it feels good. It feels really good. So do what works for you, Richard. Lenka. Let's see what we have from Lenka. Lenka. It says, release self-doubt. Let go of fear. So one way to release self-doubt is to do something that makes you feel confident, because that would be the opposite of the doubt, right? We go around doubting ourselves a lot just on a daily basis sometimes, We'll do something and we're like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done it that way. But be careful how you talk to yourself, because you don't want to use any kind of negative self-talk. Because remember, your body hears everything that you say and it will act accordingly. But if you're hanging on to anything that is creating any kind of doubt for you, hanging on to anything that is creating any kind of fear for you, then let it go. Just let it go. And do something. One way to boost that self-confidence and get rid of some of that self-doubt, something that you're really good at, just do it. Maybe you're really good at painting. Paint a picture. Maybe you're good at drawing. Draw a picture. Because you're going to look at that and be like, wow. And it's going to change your energy up. So I hope that resonates with you, Lenka. Maureen says, thank you so much. You're so welcome, Maureen. Melissa Parks has her show on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it is Joyful Findings. And her show will actually be the last show that we live stream on YouTube. So check out her show. It's awesome. And, Melissa. Okay, let's see what we have for Melissa. Stay away from drama today. Don't let it get a hold of you, Melissa. Stay away from it. And I feel like you can see it coming and you kind of duck. But you know what? That card made me laugh, because I have known a lot of people throughout my life. They will be the ones that'll say, oh, I hate drama. I hate drama. I don't like drama in my life, blah, blah, blah. And they're the ones that have all the drama. And they're the ones that create all the drama. And that always makes me laugh. Now, I don't feel like you do, but it just makes me laugh because they're the ones that are like, I don't know, no drama, no drama. But they create it all themselves and bring it on themselves. And then they sit there and wonder, well, why do I have all this drama in my life? And it's funny because when you look at their situation, you can clearly see how they created that whole situation. But yes, just stay in your calm, happy place, Melissa. And if you see any drama coming your way, just don't engage. I don't feel like you do, but they're just wanting to remind you, don't engage. Now, Sunday night, Tiffany, her show, Spiritual Insight, is on at 8 p.m. And that will be September 1st. So that will be the start of the 10th season. But check out her show. She has an amazing show. Amazing. Okay. Carol Ann. Okay. I thought I saw her name on here. But instead of writing down Carol Ann, I wrote down Rumble. So I don't know why I did that. Okay. Okay. Carol Ann. What do we have for you? Keep your thoughts positive. Keep your thoughts positive, especially your thoughts about yourself. Don't get lost in any of that negative self-talk, because, like I said, your body hears everything that you say and it will act accordingly. So even if you need to, Caroline, if you need to do positive affirmations for yourself every day, to keep those thoughts positive, because they work. They really do work. So if that, that might really help you, then do that. But keep those thoughts positive, especially the ones about yourself. Lenka says, no self-doubt. Got it. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it. You are welcome, Lenka. Sam. Sam, nourish your body, with high vibing energy. Now, some other things that are high vibing as well as what I talked about for Richard, as well as like the music or the movement. There's high vibing foods too. Foods that have a lot of high energy. Foods that have a lot of nutritional value. And they will really help as well. So, incorporate some of those into your, your daily routine. And you can check out, you can check that out and see which ones that you prefer, because, we don't all like the same kinds of things. But there's a lot of different foods that have very high vibrational energy. And that will really help as well. Okay. Puja. What do we have for Puja? Turn lemons into lessons. So whenever a situation comes to you, Puja, and it might seem like, something negative, or you might think, oh, why did this happen? Look at what it is trying to teach you. Look at what the lesson is in that situation. And then you can easily turn it around, because every experience that we have is trying to teach us something. And what happens when we don't learn our lessons the first time? They come back over and over and over until we do learn them. So it's really important to try to learn them the first time. So any of that sour stuff that comes along, just take that and turn it into a lesson. So I hope that resonates with you. Okay, Tiffany, I pulled a card for you. And like I said, don't forget to watch Tiffany's show on Sunday. And it says, look for the signs and synchronicities. And in this picture, there's a clock that says 11:11. There's butterflies everywhere. There are crystals. Looks like a candle and a rainbow. And I know you connect, when you see it, you connect it. It connects with you or connects for you. So, it's just a great reminder for all of us that there's so many signs out there, so many synchronicities out there. And we all need to pay more attention, right? Because a lot of times we don't. We get busy and, things just kind of go like right over the top of our heads. So it's really important for us to pay attention and notice that stuff because we're getting those signs and things for a reason, right? Pooja says, all right, thank you so much for the message. You're very welcome, Pooja. Now, if anybody else out there that hasn't said anything would like a message, then please let me know. But I pulled this card for everyone, and this card is absolutely beautiful. And it's the number 7. And it says, breathe in. Practice breath work today. Practice breath work today. And, I like that because we just breathe, or, automatically our bodies just breathe. But when we do it with intention and we take those deep breaths, you can really feel your lungs filling up with air, right? You can really feel it. And it feels very deep. It feels very intense. And it's very good for us to do that. Now, when we do that also, it can also help us to calm down if we're upset, calm down if we're angry. We teach kids that, count to 10, take some deep breaths and count to 10. And that stuff really works. So that's something that's, to be mindful of. Wow, beautiful message. So spot on. Thank you, Ruth. I love you. I love you too, Tiffany. And message. I got so excited I couldn't type. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like that, Tiffany. Now, we have a few minutes left. If anybody else would like a message, please let me know. And here's another card I just pulled for everyone. It's the number 13. Now, one thing I have noticed, okay, this is going to probably sound odd, but I like odd numbers better than even numbers. I always have. I don't know why. And I've noticed that the majority of the cards that I pull that have a number on them have an odd number. And this one has a 13. And it says, find your haven. And it says, there is a place of wonder waiting just for you. And what I feel from this card is we all need that sacred place just for ourselves. Whether it is sitting in a corner somewhere, sitting in, the bathroom to get away from your kids, sitting in a closet, sitting on a park bench, someplace that we feel is our sacred space and our sacred place. A lot of times we feel like that's in nature more than, indoors. But who knows? It's different for everyone. But we all need that special place where we can sit with our thoughts, where we can get rid of our thoughts and just sit in the quietude and let all of the information come in. Because when we're really busy, talking and thinking, we're not quieting our mind, right? So we don't hear a lot of those thoughts that are trying to come in. That makes sense. So next week is going to be September 1, 2, 3. I think it's the 4th, September 4th. So that'll be pretty exciting that we're already into September. It is very exciting, however, when I look at my list, like I had some Christmas stuff. I need to start on my Christmas, stuff, because it's going to be here so fast. So fast. But between now and the end of the year, though, since kids started school, a lot of people have school activities, sporting events, different kinds of lessons that their kids might take, holiday parties, holiday get-togethers, shopping. A lot of times we have family and friends that visit over the holidays. So between September and December, it's a very busy time of the year for most of us. I know I have a lot of different activities going on with my multiple grandchildren, and it can take up a lot of weekends. Then you also, filter into their birthdays or, other kinds of family celebrations. And it doesn't give us a lot of time maybe for ourselves or time to do the things that we feel we need to get done. So that's one reason why I like to try and start early. I like to plan for that, because it always sneaks up, before you know it. I want to thank everybody so much for joining me this week. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I want you guys to have a very happy and safe and fun weekend if you're celebrating. And even if you're not, have a great weekend. But I will see you guys here next Wednesday. I love you all. Good night, everybody.